Hello and welcome to a series of videos focused on helping you achieve the best grades possible at AS and A2 English Literature. Whatever the exam board, an A level, when we get to A2, is broken down into 4 units. The first 2 units are found in AS, where you have a unit that's based on coursework activities and a unit that's based on final examination. The AS English Literature and A2 English Literature are broken down into 2 units each. As you can see, the AS has a unit of coursework and a terminal examination. The coursework, which we'll come on to at a later date, is broken down into different types of activities depending on the type of exam board that you are following. And the same is true of the A2, which again is broken down into normally an extended essay and then a final closed book examination, but again they do vary from exam board to exam board. You can be examined in January, take the exam early, or June, or both. You can resit after taking in January if your exam result isn't as good enough. For the A2, all of the units here become 25% of the whole mark. So everything is added together for the A2. Now, the exams are assessed either coursework and final examination, creative pieces and coursework comparison pieces, synoptic pieces whereby all of your knowledge is tested in the last year of the A2 exam. They all are based on a framework of assessment objectives. And as you can see from this quotation from the Welsh Board's examiner, it said the strongest answers were those where candidates addressed the AOs with confidence. And the only time that you have confidence and do well is when you have knowledge. And that's what this little section is all about. Understanding the AOs, a brief overview, and the following videos on this will look at each AO in turn and look at responses that use those AOs well. Now there are 5 exam syllabuses available: the AQA, A and B, Edexcel, the OCR, the Welsh Board and the Northern Irish Board. Each board applies the AOs in different ways according to their syllabus. Some have short answers like Edexcel and AQA, some have extended essays, some have creative writing pieces, some have open book and closed book exams, and so it's important that you understand the syllabus of your particular A level. By understanding the AOs, you can understand what the examiners are looking for. You can understand how it's actually linked to the literature you're reading and understanding and analysing, the ways in which you can write and adopt the different knowledge you have learned in your coursework and in your examinations, and also you're able to break down the responses and how they're marked according to the different assessment objective focuses. A brief run over then of what they are. Firstly, AO1, this focuses really on your writing skills and your actual ability to manipulate English in expressing your point of view and using technical language from English literature or even language to analyse effectively what you have read and show the examiner that you understand what you have read and you present a sophisticated argument. AO2. This shows your ability to analyse, to say how and why a specific type of writing has been done, what the author's intentions were, and also look in more depth at form, language and structure of a text and say how they're working, often comparing them, which again brings us on to AO3. AO3 is looking at ways of comparing, connecting texts. Okay, that can be through the way they're written, their form, the AO2, form, structure, language, and so on. But it can also be through their contextual factors. How, where, how and when they're written. Are they similar? Why aren't they similar? Do they follow a similar theme? And so on. AO4 looks at your ability to understand when those texts were written, the context. What influenced the writers in their writing? Who were they reacting to? What was the purpose of their writing linked to the social, political, historical factors of the day? There are many benefits from understanding the assessment focuses and how they're applied in GCE English literature. First of all, it will give you an understanding of the whole course, what you're required to do, what you should be reading, the ideas you should be developing, where you need to focus your research, and how you can put together ideas to get the best marks. It will enable you to respond to assessment tasks and examination questions effectively, because you'll understand the areas that you'll need to cover and the things that you'll need to analyse and explain and explore. It'll give you confidence if you understand these different assessment objectives when you're constructing written pieces, whether they are recreative writing or commentaries or essays that compare or analyse across a range of texts. And we can also use the assessment objectives to help us build knowledge that will construct A-star answers. And in the next series of videos, as we look at AO1, 2, 3 and 4, you will see A-star responses linked to each of those assessment focuses. Thank you.